Please share if you're just coming on. Please go ahead and share this live. I'm trying to do the same here. Say that my educational philosophy is that all children can learn. So if you think that because a child has disability, it means that child may not be able to learn, I say you are wrong. I say that's a big no, that all children can learn. Doesn't matter if they have any form of disability. But there are work to be made there. And you as a parent, because I tell people, you parents, you are your child's first teacher. Don't depend on your child's teacher in your classroom, your therapist, and what have you. You, as a parent, you are your child's first teacher, right? So you have to go above and beyond to do everything possible to make sure that you educate your child. And yeah. And so that's what I believe. Now, when we talk about education, a life in itself, education is not a one size fits all. Everyone's not put in this cup and say, yeah, you have to do things a certain way. No, we are all different people. We are all different. We learn different. We do things different. We get things done differently, right? So there is no need to measure anyone to someone or to some form of standard. Say, oh yeah, it has to be done this way. This is the standard. Don't form anyone into a box, right? So if you have to get to the finish line, you will get to the finish line one way or the other. I mean, whether you crawl, whether you run, whether you walk, whether you ride a bike, whether you drive a car, you can do a tractor, whatever it is, you are going to get to the finish line. So don't measure yourself or your child to anyone else. Everyone have their unique way of doing things and learning. So today I want to talk about visual learners, right? So my daughter, as you all know, she has autism. And she is my precious little girl. She is unique in her own way. I could not change her for anyone else, right? And first of all, my daughter think that I have autism and not her, because that's what I made her to believe, to think that she is normal. There's nothing wrong with her, right? So, and you can do the same. But anyway, let's get back to teaching our children. So my daughter can read. My daughter can write. When you see her penmanship here, it is so unique. First of all, I'm not here to talk about my daughter. So I would not say anything about her. But I just want to talk about visual learner, that our children learn differently. And we have to adapt to how our children learn. And not try to force what society say about how they should learn. No, you as a parent, you have to figure out a way as to how does my child grasp this? How does my child comprehend, right? Once you have that, and then you capitalize on it, and then strengthen, support your child to get to reach to their full potential in life. So let's talk about visual learner. When I say visual learner, that people learn by pictures, especially I know my daughter and most people with autism. I will speak for my daughter because, again, all children are different. So my daughter is a visual learner. And when I say visual, she learned by showing and telling, right? So you have to show her a picture. You show her a picture of what you are talking about, most cases, and that would be it. And once she grasps that and know exactly what it is, then you can move on to having a conversation, talking about, what it is. But for the foundation of the teaching and learning, you want to use your picture. So for example, this is how I taught my daughter number system, right? So I have my board right here. So for example, this would be a perfect way to teach by picture, right? So here it is, number 1. I not only have the number 1, but I also wrote the number 1 here. And when you do that, you are introducing language comprehension. You are introducing how to read, because you show the number, you show the word, you spell it out, right? 1, and you tell them this is 1, write it out. And then you have what here? 1 tree. So there is that comprehension to get it. Okay, I see what you're saying. Versus if you were to say something like, okay, I'm going to show you number 1. Okay, it's like, all right, what is 1? I don't know what you're talking about, because 1 to them is completely blank. That's what the brain would tell them. All right, I don't know what you're talking about. You were telling me number 1. All right, so this is number 1, right? Until you as a parent can come, and this is what teachers do. I'm a teacher anyway, so you have to show them by picture. This is what I mean when I say number 1. This is 1, all right? You can have as many examples just to come back to that number 1. You can say, okay, see, here's a light bulb. I have 1 light bulb. This is the number 1, and this is how you spell 1, right? And then you have 1 item to, give that visual reading of what you are talking about. So, and that would be it. Now, if I tell my daughter, oh, go bring 1, this and that. Well, I mean, right now she can read, she know what it is, but when you are building a foundation, it's a building block, right? So you start with the visual, you start with the picture, the introduction of the word, and what you are talking about, right? So now let's go to number 2, right? So if I wanted to tell my daughter, all right, I'm teaching her and I'm telling her about number 2 to be able to identify number 2. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the same exact thing. All right. I have 2 dogs, right? I have the number 2. I have the word written 2, and I have 2 visual items right here to show her exactly what I'm talking about as far as number 2. So this is visual learning, all right? So most children with autism, they learn by picture, including my daughter. I know for sure that my daughter is a visual learner, and this is how she was able to learn how to read. So you're not just going to put the number, but you make sure you have the word. Write it out. Write it out, okay? And soon they will start to read, right? Because you are introducing language and you are building up on their skills. So now, this is number 2, right? Now I'm going to show another picture of number 2. Okay, so as a visual learner, you also want to show another picture because, there you go. I have another picture telling me this is another number 2. I have the number again. I have the word written. I think this is not straight, but it's okay. Right. And then I have 2 cartons. So you want to show something that they already know. So you don't want to bring something strange. You want to bring something. You could put like 2 cats, okay, right here, and tell them no, it's a cat. So this is what I mean when I say visual learner. Children learn by looking and also by reading. Now, let's move on to learning our colors, right? And listen, once you do this, the next thing you will find that your person will begin to read. So I'm going to do my colors. And you can start small. Hey, don't overwhelm your child. Start small. Introduce maybe 1 or 2 words or pictures or letter a week, right? Once they have grasped the whole idea, then you can steadily move up a little bit. All right, so now I'm going to teach my color. Look. When you look at this is not straight at all. This is orange, right? See? I have orange, and there is that orange right there. I have the word spelled out, and I have the orange right there. See that? Oh, this is, okay. There you go. And I can go on, and I can also show another color just to be able to get my child connected. So you connect colors with pictures and what have you. So this is really easy. I am going to also do yellow. I think I want to do yellow, right? All right. So I have several colors that can connect to what I'm talking about. For example, I'm going to show the color yellow, right? Now, there is my yellow, right? Again, the goal is to have the word and the color. So this is a visual style of learning. Now, I'm going to add several pictures to better exhibit the color yellow. So look what I have here. Hold on. What do I have? I have a yellow school bus. So if you are talking about yellow, you want to have several display items to be able to show some visualization of what you are talking about. So I have my yellow written here. This is yellow. And look what we find here. We have a yellow school bus, right? Okay, now I have one more visual item to show my yellow color. So this is easy. So this is how you can teach your child how to learn if they are a visual learner. Look, I have a yellow, right? Yellow, and what is this? Banana. So that's easy reading. So all children, everyone can read. So if you have an adult or a child that has autism or, any form of disability and still can't read, you can teach them how to read in the simplest way ever. And you can do so by using a picture exchange, right? So here you go. There's a yellow. You show them the word, and look, I have a yellow banana. Ooh, I see a yellow school bus. So if you keep up with this, you are going to have a reader in your house. Here is another example of learning your colors right here, right? Red. You see the red over there? Red, and then there's the word red. And then you say, what is that? This is red because this is all red, and there's a red apple. See how easy is that? And this is how you can teach your learner how to read. It's easy. All you have to do is consistency, right? So here is my apple. Here is my red. I see red apple. And that's easy. And then go back to your banana. Okay? Again, all children can learn. But it's just a matter of how you are teaching your child. All right? So here is my yellow, right? I see yellow banana, right? And I see yellow school bus. So if you do this, if you take up the time and just teach your child by, seeing and just pronouncing and saying it out, by the time you look, your learner will be reading. So this is how I taught my daughter, and she can read, she can comprehend, and what have you. And I'm sure that you can do the same. So if you have any question, if you want to know anything else, please reach out to me. I am here for you. All right. So at this point, I'm going to end this live, and you can always send me